Good evening to all of you. Myself, K. Srikanth, Associate Professor of ECS Department at GPREC Kurnool. Today's topic, Java buzzwords or Java features. Let us discuss the features of Java language which makes it popular. So we have a lot of features that are supported by Java language. In this video, we discuss the important features that makes Java a popular language. So we have some excellent features which plays an important role in the popularity of the language. So the features of Java is also known as Java buzzwords. So let us see the list of most important features of Java language in the next slide. So in this slide, I just listed out the important features of Java language. So the language is simple to learn. The language supports object-oriented features. The language is portable. The language is platform independent. It is secured. The language is robust in nature. The language is architecture neutral. The language is interpreted language. The language is high performance language. The language is multi-threaded. It supports distributed applications, and it is a dynamic environment to run Java applications. So these are all the features of Java language. Because of high level of features, the language has become more popular today. So let us discuss one by one what exactly each and every feature is in the language. So first is a simple feature of Java language. So why the language is simple? Because the Java is an extended version of C++. So most of the syntax is copied from C or C++. So even if you know C language, it is easier to learn Java language. And Java has removed many complicated topics like pointers, operator overloading, which are part of C and C++. And we all know that most of the students feel difficult in learning C language because of pointers concept. And in C++, there is a concept called operator overloading. So where we can overload the operators for more number of operations. And one more advantage of this language is there is no need to remove unreferenced objects. So generally in C language, the dynamic memory allocation is done by using three functions: malloc, calloc, and realloc. So which are used to allocate memory at runtime, and to free the memory allocation, we have a function called free. So if you are allocating memory by using the above three functions, memory allocation, at runtime, so after allocating memory, so it is the programmer's job to free it. So we need to free the memory by using a function called free. Right? So in C or C++, so the programmer has to take care of both the things, allocation and deallocation. Right? So deallocation of memory, so which is done by using free function in C language. But in Java, it is not necessary to deallocate the memory, because there is a program called garbage collection which take care the unreferenced objects that are part of heap, and it is removed automatically at regular intervals. So automatic garbage collection is present in Java. So there are three reasons why the Java language is very simple. So one is, if you know C or C++, the most of the syntax in Java is similar to C or C++, so that's why it is easy to learn the language. The second point is there are no pointers in Java language, and there is no operator overloading. And one more advantage of this language is the unreferenced objects are automatically garbaged by JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So where the programmer is focused on allocating the memory instead of deallocation. So generally the programmers, they forgot to deallocate the memory in C or C++. Whereas in Java, the JVM will take care of garbage collection. So this is what the simple feature tells us. Then the second feature, it is object oriented. So we all know that C or C++ language, they are procedure oriented languages or function oriented language. So C is function oriented language or procedure oriented language. So C is a procedure oriented language. Procedure oriented language. Okay. So whereas C++ and Java, they support object oriented programming features. So in object oriented programming language, everything we treat it as an object. So object oriented concepts are, so we should know what is a class, how to create objects for a class, what is inheritance, what is polymorphism, what is abstraction, and what is encapsulation. So because of these concepts, the language is object oriented. And we so in the latter videos, we come to know what is a class, how to define it, and what is an object, how to create it, what is an inheritance and what are the types of inheritance, what is polymorphism and the types of polymorphism, what is abstraction and how to implement it, and encapsulation, how to achieve it. Right? So at present, because we are just focusing on the features of Java language, and one of the feature is object oriented. So in object oriented feature, the following concepts are covered as part of object oriented programming. So the concepts are object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So because of these concepts, the Java is very powerful in solving real-time applications. So the third feature, which is platform independent, and we already in the last video we have discussed what is platform independent and why Java is become platform independent because of the bytecode. We already discussed the word called bytecode, which is an intermediate code which is common for all JVMs related to an OS, right? So because of this bytecode, the language is platform independent, where it can be run on multiple platforms. So the concept is WORA, W-O-R-A, which is write once and run anywhere. So we write the code once and we compile it, and the bytecode can be run on any machine, anywhere. So when it comes to C language, it is platform dependent. So the both languages, they are platform dependent, so which makes the languages a drawback, so which is overcome in a language called Java. So where Java is platform independent because of the code called bytecode, and the bytecode is common for all the platforms and for all the missions. So because of bytecode, we got a feature called WORA, that is write once and run anywhere. So this is about the platform independent feature. And this diagram, it gives, so this diagram is already covered in the last video, but at present, because we are focusing on platform independent, so I want to repeat this figure once again. So if you see, the .java file is given to individual compilers of operating systems, so Windows Java compiler, Linux Java compiler, and Mac Java compiler. So the compilers, they are giving a common code, that is bytecode, which we call it as intermediate code, which makes the language platform independent, and the bytecode is run on their individual JVMs, Java Virtual Machines, related to Windows OS, Linux OS, and Mac OS. So because of this bytecode, the language, it becomes platform independent, and this is one of the feature of Java language. The next feature, which is secured, the fourth feature of Java language. So why Java is secure? So the one important related to the security is it doesn't support pointers. So in C language and C++, we can use pointers to work with the memory locations, whereas in Java there is no concept of pointers and we cannot interact directly with the memory locations. And the other one is because of the Java Virtual Machine, right? So JVM. So because of JVM, it is secured, because the JVM, it consists of the components class loader, bytecode verifier, security manager is there, and we have interpreter, just-in-time compiler, and the runtime environment. So where the application is run in a secured place. So because of these features, the language is very secured and it is virus free because we don't have .exe files. So .exe files are generated in C language, so which are virus supported files. Because of pointers, so they are virus prone programs. So whereas in Java there is no concept of pointer and the programs are run in a secured environment called JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So that's why the language is treated as secured, which is one of the important feature of Java language. And this diagram, it is clearly showing the picture how the Java language is secured. If you see the C++ application, it executes the program directly under the environment of OS, and there is no intermediate platform to make it secure. When it comes to Java application, so it is the Java application is given to a mediator called JVM, where we have a secured runtime environment to run the application with the help of OS. So because of this JVM, the language is secured. The language is secured. Hope it is clear with this diagram that because of Java Virtual Machine, the language is secured language. And this picture, it gives what exactly the JVM consists of, which is already discussed in the last video. I just repeat the components of Java Virtual Machine. One is the class loader, which loads the classes dynamically to run the application, and we have bytecode verifier. So whatever the bytecode we generated, whether it verifies whether it is correct or not, and we have an interpreter to convert the bytecode into machine code with the help of JIT compiler to improve the performance of the application, and the application is run on the runtime environment with the help of operating system and hardware. So because of the JVM, the language is very secure, because the application is run within the JVM environment. The next feature, it is robust. So the language is robust because of 4 important points. So one is the strong memory management, because the memory is allocated in the heap dynamically, and it clears automatically using the garbage collection program, and there is no pointer concept, which avoids the security problems, and automatic garbage collection is present in Java. So there is no bother of clearing the heap, and the JVM will take care of the garbage collection. And we also have concepts called exception handling and type checking mechanism, so where the strict type checking is being done. So with all these points, the Java is robust in nature. So we need to remember the points related to the feature robust. Why Java is robust? Because of strong memory management, because of lack of pointers, it is secured, and there is automatic garbage collection with the help of Java Virtual Machine, and there are concepts like exception handling and type checking mechanism, so which makes the language more robust. The next feature, it is architecture neutral. So when we are working with C language, so whenever we ask the size of primitive data types, especially with integer, so when I ask in C programming what is the size of int, so I get multiple answers. Some students, they say 2 bytes, some people they say 4 bytes. So why this difference is? Because the C programming is mission dependent and platform dependent. So based on the type of architecture of the system, the size is differed. So for 32-bit architecture, the size is 2 bytes. For 64-bit architecture, the size is 4 bytes. So which is overcome in Java language. So in Java language, for integer, it is fixed size, that is 4 bytes of memory for any type of architecture. Maybe it is 32-bit or 64-bit architecture. So due to this, there is no confusion for the programmer about the memory allocation for primitive data types. So it is fixed in Java language, whereas in C or C programming, it differs based on the architecture of the system. The next feature is portable. So generally the portable, it says that where we can complete a program in a system, in a particular system, and then the program can be run on different systems. So it is possible because of bytecode. So whenever you write a .java program, you just compile it, so you get a .class file which is in bytecode format. So this bytecode, the .class file, can be copied into any other system, and without any changes we can run easily. So it means that so the program can be run anywhere. That makes the language portable. So the code can be portable anywhere and can be run on any machine, which is an important feature of the Java language, which makes the language platform independent. Then comes a feature called high performance. So the Java language generally it is an interpreted programming language. So when it comes to the performance of a translator, so the compiled languages are faster compared to the interpreted languages like Java. So C and C++ are compiled languages where the code is executed very fast, whereas a Java language is interpreted language where line by line execution is done, and it is slower compared to the compiled language. But in Java, a compiler has been introduced to overcome the fastness of the C or C++. To compete with C or C++, a component it introduced, that is JIT compiler, which is just-in-time compiler, where the reusable bytecode is automatically converted into machine code to compete with C or C++. The bytecode, the Java bytecode is very near to the machine code, so that is why the language is a bit slower than the compiled language. But still, the Java language is slower than compiled language, but it can be overcome with a component called JIT compiler. Then comes another feature called distributed. So the applications, whatever we develop in Java language, can be distributed in the global, in different places. So the people can work from anywhere on an application, and it can be integrated at one place. So to make the applications distributed, we need to learn topics like RMI and EJB. So RMI stands for remote method invocation. Remote method invocation. Remote method invocation. And EJB stands for Enterprise Java Beans. Enterprise Java beans. So using these two concepts, so we can create distributed applications. So this feature of Java makes us to able to access files by calling the methods from any machine on the internet. So because of this feature, the Java, it became very popular. So where we can run our applications on the internet from any machine. Then a feature called multi-threaded is there, which is not there in C or C++. So a thread is a part of a application. So where an application or program can be divided into multiple threads, and each thread can be run on a machine, and the threads can be concurrently run to achieve multi-threading. So the main advantage of multi-threading is that doesn't occupy memory for each thread. It shares a common memory area. So generally the one more so when it comes to multi-programming, so the different programs have different addresses, but when it comes to multi-threading, so all threads will have the common memory location or memory address. So they are available within the same address, so it is easy to switch between the threads very easily compared to the multi-programming. So that's why the Java language, it became popular, because it supports multi-threading, where all threads are stored in a common address, and the context switching between the threads is very easy. So we can, using threads, we can develop applications related to multimedia or web applications. And the last feature, which is dynamic in nature. So the Java is dynamic in nature because of the concept called class loader. So it dynamically loads the classes that are required to run your application. And we have dynamic compilation and the automatic garbage collection, that is memory management. Right? So because of dynamic loading of classes with the help of standard packages and libraries, dynamic libraries, and we have dynamic compilation and the dynamic memory management techniques by using garbage collection. So these are the important features of Java language, which makes the language very popular. So I just revised what we discussed in today's video. So we just like to know the features of Java language, so which makes the language very popular. So these are the different features of Java language. So the language is simple because it copies the syntax of C or C++, and there are no pointers in the language, and automatic garbage collection is done. So when it comes to object-oriented feature, it supports object-oriented concepts like class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction. The language is portable because of bytecode. So we can convert the Java source code into bytecode, and it can be run anywhere. And platform independent. So again, the same thing. So because of bytecode, the language is platform independent, and it can be run anywhere, and we can achieve the operation called WORA, write once, run anywhere. So the language is secure because it doesn't support pointers, and there is automatic garbage collection concept. So the language is robust because it has strong memory management. It supports exception handling. It supports type checking mechanism. It supports automatic garbage collection. So all this makes the language robust. So the language architecture neutral. So in C or C++, the size of primitive data types are machine dependent or architecture dependent. When it comes to Java language, the sizes of primitive types are fixed in nature. Interpreted, the Java language is interpreted language, so where line by line execution is done. Generally the interpreted languages are slow compared to compiled languages, but the bytecode is very near to native code, so the performance is not so much slower compared to the compiled language. It is compete with the compiled languages like C or C++ with the introduction of JIT compiler, just-in-time compiler. So when it comes to high performance, So because of automatic garbage collection and because there are no pointers, the high performance of application has been developed easily. And when it comes to multi-threaded, so we can divide our Java program into threads, and all threads are stored in common area to run the threads. And it is easy to switch between the threads because they are available within the common address. And we can develop distributed applications using Java language because it supports the concepts like EJB, Enterprise Java Beans, and RMI, Remote Method Invocation. So because of these features, we can develop the we can divide the application into multiple modules, and it can be assigned to multiple people in the globe, and it can be integrated on one machine and can be run on the internet. So the language is dynamic because of loading of classes dynamically. Dynamic memory management is done. uh, so these are all makes the language very powerful, and a lot of people, they are using Java language to develop the application. So because of these features, the Java, it became very popular in the users, in the programmers. This is so this is for today. Thank you for your patience listening. Hope the concept is clear to you. So in the next video, we try to cover one more topic. Thank you once again.